Just uses a punching bag. And that's it, Mr. X. We defeated you. My scheme for world domination has failed. But I still have enough power to destroy you. Oh my god, it was Dr. What? There was no way that could have been Was that Dr. Wily? Let the final battle begin. Oh, sorry, I should have used Dr. Wily's voice, but I don't care. I don't even care. He doesn't even do his eyebrow thing, by the way. That's very disappointing. That is extremely disappointing, in fact. You know what? I should send a letter to Nintendo to, like, ask them to, like, to recall all these, what's the word? To, yeah, I guess that's it. To recall all the, Mega Man 6 cartridges, just so they can add Wily's eyebrows. Yeah. This is kind of interesting. I think that that's an example of why I do like this level in the castle, just because these fans right here, I guess they do offer a different challenge. Fan noise, you distracted me. See, this is all your fault. I guess this stage is a good stage to practice with the jet adapter, and there's not really a need to take it off if you're going to use it. So it's really not too much of a bad stage to use it with, and I do kind of like a challenge that you can have with it. Although it does make the stage a little easier, admittedly. We couldn't get to that. I should have tried a little earlier to I should have charged a little earlier. Although we can show off this challenge, which I do like. I do like this area. That was kind of close. And we have to do it twice! Ooh. The first room, I guess you could have gotten hit by the enemy and just plowed your way through again. However, the second area, there was no enemy, so you couldn't have walked on the spikes after getting hit, because you couldn't get hit by anything. Do I really need to explain that? Anyways. Some extra tiny refills in that last room, and once again you're able to skip that octopus boss. And for some reason there's 3 platforms up here. However, there's only one guy. Kind of strange, but fine, we'll roll with it. Now this next boss can have a really interesting not pattern, but an interesting way to beat it if you have the power adapter. It's this big dragon right here. Normally, you're supposed to jump on these platforms, dodge the fire at the same time, and shoot in his eyes. However, if you stand right here in front of where the fire should be, he can only shoot in 3 designated spots, or maybe there's another one higher up that he won't shoot because I'm too low. You're just able to but rather punch these platforms right back at him. It only does 1 damage each, so it's not like a fast strategy. But it is interesting to that this is an option. Also, the platforms come out in 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 5, 6, and then 2 pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, 5, you know. Same old deal. I was in that thing the whole time, I swear. That's why I popped out. I also like that Wily kind of looks like an ancient Japanese building of sorts. Like the roof and everything. It's kind of cool. Is this really how you hide an E-tank? I think you're like Mega Man 5 is rubbing off on you. That's what I'm trying to say. I stutter too much. Ow. And right here, if you notice this path up here, not really a, well, I mean, it is a path, but notice this thing right here. From Blizzard Man stage, I don't think I showed this off, but if you use Fire Blast on these things, you're able to melt it, and what's more is, if you got lucky there, you could also slip into the spot at the same time, like I did. Normally you'd probably just fall back down after you throw the Fire Blast. However, in this case, I'm just that good at this game. So, fortunately, we didn't have to go that entirely long way around back here. So much of a long way back around. So, I guess that, up there, that energy pellet, I think it should have been used for an E-Tank. And that's a good way to hide an E-Tank. Really difficult to get. But, if you manage to do it properly, then you get a good reward for it. It's high risk, high reward, and that's what I like. Sorry, I got distracted because my friend just texted me. Yes, I know you interrupted me again. Please don't take that too seriously. This one's can be kind of difficult. What I like to do is just keep shooting it and get like really close to it. Get a charge shot in. And there we go. It's funny, the thing that it spits out, I think it's supposed to be cannonballs, although it has a white outline. Although, like, I guess the background is black, so they had to like make sure that the that it sticks out from the background. But it just kind of looks like bubbles to me. It's kind of funny, exploding bubbles. But now, we've reached this stage, a very short stage because god damn it. Well, I got an energy tank, but I'm not going to use it. Once again, the run really only calls for not using the energy tanks, and not getting them is really just an added bonus, I guess. Ow. Yeah, you could take a lot of hits in that room. Not only can you take a lot of hits because there's a lot of enemies, but like you're able to take a lot of hits and still get away with it because the spikes, once again, it's not like Mega Man 1 where after you get hit, the spikes still damage you. After you get hit, oh. Okay, the music just restarted. I don't like that, but whatever. Let's start off with, who's weak to Yamato Spear? Who's weak to Yamato Spear? Hello? I choose you, Nightman! Yeah, Nightman is weak to Yamato Spear because Yamato Spear actually pierces through his shield. Well, that's not the reason, but makes this battle a lot less tedious now that you have his weakness because it pierces through his shield and you can just hit him however many times you want. Who's weak to wind? Windstorm, yeah. Windstorm, hello, Windstorm. Okay, fine then. Flame Man. It puts out the flame. Kind of makes sense. You blow on a flame to put it out. Although it's not like Mega Man 1 logic where the ice puts out, like, fire, which doesn't really make sense, but I guess it is frozen water, but it doesn't really work if you do that in real life. Okay, Blizzard Attack, alright, fine then, Plant Man. Now Blizzard Attack is interesting because it comes from behind you, like this. So you can either do that, like wait till it hits him from the front, or face behind him, it's kind of hard to do this, but if you're able to do it perfectly, it's interesting. You face away from him and use it. It's a faster method, I guess. Fortunately, we used pretty much all of it. Nope, now we did. LOL. Flame Blast. Alright, fine then. F Blast, Fuck Blast, you know. It's the same stick, same shtick, same thing. Blizzard Man. That would make sense that you're weak to it, because guess what? You're snow. Snow melts with fire. That makes so much sense. Mega Man 1, take note. Ice also melts with fire. Guess what? Like, hello. Who's next? Plant Barrier. Who's weak to Plant Barrier? Alright then, Tomahawk Man. Yeah. Tomahawk is weak to plants, because I don't know. I really don't know. That's all there is to that battle. Night Crush! Hello! Night Crush! I'm trying to remember which one. I know it's Centaur Man, I just don't remember which one of the two middle ones. I'm going to say this one. Yeah, we got it. Centaur Man, you are weak to Night Crush. Now it's interesting that Night Crush doesn't have the furthest range, although it can go back to you like that. And if it goes off screen, then it just doesn't come back to you, which makes sense. That was kind of stylish. Not really, but, you know, it works well enough. Silver Tomahawk. Yamato Man, you are weak to Silver Tomahawk. Which kind of makes sense, you know, he jumps up in the sky. Like that. Just like that. With close range, Silver Tomahawk can also, I guess, be okay on the ground. Just not as well. This just doesn't work as well as, like a Mega Buster shot, really. Centaur Flash. Alright then, Windman. You're the last one on our list. Ironically, you were also the first one I fought. With these screen nukes, they usually take four hits, which I think that's very sorry, they take 4 bits of ammo every time you use them, which makes sense. Although it also does 4 bits of damage to the boss that's weak to it. So you pretty much you used all of your ammo against that boss if you're using only that weapon. I'm not sure why this teleporter isn't broken. Whatever. Kind of bugs me. So it's always best not to spam weapons, and that's one of the reasons why with the screen nukes. I don't think you can, no you can't, you have to defeat this thing. Met Dispenser, ow. Well, I guess we're not going into that boss with full health at all. That's alright. Although it's the final boss, it's not exactly the most difficult. Thanks, Eddie. That was maybe a little useful? I don't know. Yeah, so we're going in with the final boss, not with full health, but it's okay because the final boss isn't that bad. I think Mega Man 5's had probably the hardest one out of the 6 NES games, although you know what's the real hardest final boss in all of Mega Man. Classic Mega Man, at least. I really do like this music. It does feel like final boss-ish. It does feel like this is the final game. And it really is. It's the final game of the NES games. While I don't think that's like the end of the good games, that's what a lot of people consider this to be. Anything past Mega Man 5 and 6, they don't consider to be that good, and I do think that that the other games aren't quite as well received. But I don't think that it's entirely warranted that they have such a bad rep. Anyways, it's time for the final boss, the real final boss. Ow. Usually his shots go clockwise, being the one that comes out of the bottom part goes well, you could see, sort of. Doesn't always happen, but usually it does. Now, each final boss form is weak to the Silver Tomahawk. I feel that they should have had another weakness, although I guess the Night Crush on the first and second forms, it works favorably, and that does do 2 damage. It's just not 4 damage. I think on the third form it also does it. It's just more difficult to hit. But with that was Mega Man 6. And finally, that ends my runs for the classic Mega Man games, the ones on NES, which are considered to be the real good ones, which once again, as I said, I don't think is warranted. However, I do think that there's a reason why, and it's just, I don't know. And I'm kind of conflicted about it myself, although I do like Mega Man 7. Right here, we get kind of a nice, like, sort of a medley of all of the stages. And between the stage ones, you hear just... You hear that, you hear like a cool little beat. I like that. One thing I do like is all the beats of the music. Even if I think that... I guess, should I make this part of my final thoughts? The music in general, I think, while some are good, I just don't think that they quite match up as some of the earlier Mega Man musics. It's just kind of meh for me in general. There are some themes that I do like even the ones that I don't like. I think that, like, in some respects they are kind of good. It's just they're not, like, amazing. But in terms of level design, I do think that this game has good level design. For example, Plant Man, while we're here, I like the spring section in his stage. For Nightman, I did like that spike trap, although I feel like it was just in one room, so it wasn't that great. Although I guess there's something similar in Blizzard Man's stage with the submarine. That was also kind of interesting. So, generally, I don't think that this game was running out of ideas by any means. I do think that there were some areas that were uninspired, but I don't know. It's a tough call for me. This game does leave me pretty conflicted. Something that I mentioned that I really don't like about the game is, of course, the physics. When you slide, the sliding is pretty atrocious in this game. And it never was like that. Like, the sliding was good ever since Mega Man 3, where they first introduced it. So I don't see why it was such a problem in this game. It's not even like they use like an old engine or something. It's just that maybe they made it purposely that way, because they got it right for Mega Man 3, 4, and 5. And even when they got to Mega Man 7, they got that right, but not Mega Man 6. And I really don't understand why. I might look it up soon. Although I do kind of like the credit music. I don't know, it's another meh track that's okay. I don't think there's any stage music other than maybe Centaur Man's stage that I really like hated. Like even Centaur Man, I don't hate it, it's just I don't like it as much as any other ones. I also like Turkey 613. That is a good credit right there. Like, let's talk about 613 turkeys, because that's really the main focus of this game. So final thoughts, I really like turkey. Actually, don't really care about turkey that much. I like chicken. Why am I talking about this? The game credits leave you so much to just make fun of. Also, there's to be continued. Even though this is like the last game in the Mega Man Classic series on NES. When they moved to SNES, they got Mega Man X. So they already had like 2 or 3 Mega Man X games there. So when Mega Man 7 came out, maybe people were just like kind of surprised that it existed, because they thought that maybe Mega Man 6 was like pretty, like had full closure besides it to be continued right there. It's just that Wily was captured, put in prison. That's really cool. That's what I do like about this game. That's another thing. I do like the final boss music. That is one music that I like love. But other than that, I don't know. It's sort of on the nose for me. Some of the challenges earlier in the game that were kind of good, as I mentioned with Plant Man and the spike traps and all that. Although later in the game, they were just kind of simple platforming traps, and if not, then they were just a bombardment of enemies, which, I mean, for the most part, really isn't... It's not that it's not challenging, it's just that it can seem kind of cheap at times. Although you can get through it without taking a hit. It's really hard, though. Anyways, I think that's it for Mega Man 6. I'll meet you guys at Mega Man 7. I think I'm sort of having like a Mega Man March break. Sort of, or a spring break, whatever you want to call it. But it's the M's make sense. Anyways, I think I'll see you guys later. Bye!